the underlying thing that I've discovered is that it's the art of working together as people. And it's what we practice together, not just what we believe and what we hope for or what our principles are, but can we practice to not move too far down the project before we have created collective clarity of the need for the project and collective clarity of the purpose of the project, purpose being the highest collective aspiration of any group in service of those people that that group is serving, to help them have more well-being in their lives, better lives. So there's something about a calling group widening into becoming a core group. That means those people who can be responsible for the process of creating a space and a time and a organizing rhythm in which the purpose can be achieved over a period of time with all the resources and elements. And I think in many places where collaborative efforts of engagement is happening, it is easy to forget about or be afraid of creating layers of influence. So what I have discovered is that I could draw it up like this and saying in the center of a project, it always needs to be not a person, but the clarity of, is this really needed? If it is, then let's craft a purpose. And those people who will craft it, they are sort of calling forth the purpose, an aspiration, a determination. Then you can commit to that purpose in service of fulfilling that need. And when that is collectively clear between 2, 3, 4 people who then commit to make this happen, collaborating with whoever else further out of the ripple effect, then the leader becomes the purpose itself, and not the caller or the guy who wants to have power over people, or the guy that everybody else wants to take responsibility for it, so you don't have to take responsibility. So if you look at several layers of circles, purpose in the middle, or need and purpose in the middle, the calling person or the calling team, widening to the core team, they are responsible for the, in my experience, when the core team is responsible for the process, and then later, further out, would be then the stakeholders, those who care about, not shareholders, stakeholders. I think there was a misunderstanding earlier. Stakeholders is simply those people who have a stake in that purpose, in that need. That's a beautiful word to me. It's an absolutely ancient and new, powerful word. Do you have a stake in it? If you have a stake in it, come help find the solution. So the stakeholders are responsible for the content, for the work, for the substance. And the core team can be in service of the purpose and those other people working together in a good way. So organizing in a way that works. So if you would see need and purpose, team, core team, maybe in there could be a layer of partners. Who is it that will support this with money, resource, any kind of resource that could be helping fulfill the purpose. And then stakeholders, and then what will those stakeholders and that purpose influence into a community or a healthcare system or a country? Or so you could say the outer circle is everybody else.
Yeah.
And in the way of seeing those layers, I've begun to see another organizing pattern arise, which, to your question, is what is it good to be conscious of? That there are layers of influence, and you could run a yin and a yang down those many circles within one big circle, and you could say on one side of it would be influence, decision power, and on the other side would be responsibility. So the further you are to the inner circle, the more responsibility that as much responsibility as you're willing to take will determine how much influence you will have. And this, I think, is many collaborative efforts has not yet been seen very well. So people are afraid of creating these layers of influence, and they're afraid to ask each other, what responsibility are you willing to take? Or ask yourself, am I wanting to be partly financially responsible for this? Then I'm closer and I have more decision power because my money or my resource is at stake. Do I want to come with some suggestions for the solution of how to make the healthcare system better or how to bring learning back to an education? Then, but I'm just offering my view, my perspective. Then, but I'm not taking responsibility for that actually to manifest. So, to me, this understanding of these layers has been of utmost importance for me.